Welcome to DadSpace, a new podcast designed for dads by dads. And we're here to create a community of great dads. Now listen, Father's Day is coming up soon, and this is a great time to share a podcast with your dad. It's a gift that keeps on giving, people. A gift that you don't have to wrap. It's just simply hit that share button and send this episode to Dad. Thank you so much for listening to DadSpace. And here we go with our episode. I'm looking forward to do it. I hope you are as well. Thank you for listening to DadSpace. Here we go. Welcome to DadSpace. Hey everybody, welcome to DadSpace, a podcast designed for dads by dads. My name is Dave. I live in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, just outside Niagara Falls. Big hill, lots of water, lots of tourists, and it's a beautiful place to live. Love Canada. And wherever you are listening to this around the world, thank you for taking time out of your schedule and for allowing me to be a part of your day. DadSpace is a unique space for dads. We want to create a community of dads and invite on guests who will feed us as fathers, give us information, support, challenge us, and just help us to grow as a dad and become the best father and leave a legacy for our kids, for our families, for our spouses on how we can be the best in this role as a father, as a dad. I have 3 grown children. I'm an empty nester. I have all of their stuff still here. Very quiet house. My wife and I, we're adjusting to the newness of an empty nest. So what a perfect time to start a podcast. When you have all this free time, I don't have to drive people around to appointments and sporting events and school, and I don't have kids coming over and eating all the food out of my fridge. It's a very interesting time as a dad. And what I really wanted to do was capture and share with my kids via a podcast and share with other dads. We're launching the podcast in and around Father's Day 2022. And the idea is that this would be a perfect gift that you could share with your father, your dad, stepdad, grandfather, soon to be dad. And it's an option and a way to share some information. I know the moment that I walked out of the hospital carrying my oldest, Macmillan, when he was born, you put them in the little baby carrier thing and you walk out to your car and nobody follows you home. Nobody comes in to make sure you're doing it right. Nobody gives you a list of instructions. And you walk out of the hospital and it's a weird feeling that now I am no longer just going to be taking care of myself, taking care of my spouse. But now there's someone else in life that is completely dependent on me to show up, to provide, and to be an example. I wish 20 plus years ago that there was a podcast where a guy like me was out there creating content for me to consume, to grow, and to be exposed to great guests, authors, speakers, motivation, people who can talk about mindset, people who can talk about mental health, people can talk about physical health, people who can give me the tips and tools and tricks and suggestions to help me be the best possible dad. I don't want to do this alone. You don't want to do this alone. And that's why DadSpace was created. I just really wanted to have a space for you and for me to connect with great people who can help us to be the best dad, no matter where you are on that stage, no matter what level you're at. If you're walking into the hospital with a brand new baby in your hands, if your teenager is giving you the side eye, if your kids have packed up and left and moved on with their lives, if grandchildren are starting to sprout up in and around your family, there's so many different things that a dad experiences. And even though this podcast is designed for dads, I do anticipate that some other listeners will come our way. Moms, single parents. So many people will access this information. And I want you to know that whoever you are in life, however you identify, you have a safe space here. We're going to provide as much information, knowledge, and support possible. Our website's being created. It'll be dadspace.ca. It's coming. But for now, reach out to us through our social media. Reach out and connect with us. Again, we're on all the social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and more coming, obviously, as things change. We will have show notes. If you don't know what a show note is and you're a listener to a podcast, it's all the information that you can click on and expand on. There'll be links. There'll be special offers. There'll be discounts for our guests that come in and share. Lots of great stuff. So I would love if you help us build the content that you are looking for. There's a lot of great dad podcasts out there. I listen to them. Super amazing people doing the best of the best in podcasting. Why are we doing one? I see some gaps. I see some things that I haven't heard people talk about. Some of the podcast episodes are going to get quite serious and touch on things that might be a little taboo, unspoken, never podcasted before about. And I hope that's what we can offer. We're going to throw dad jokes in. It's not going to be just heavy all the time. We're going to have some laughs. We're going to have some comedians on to share their dad stories. If you're a dad, you don't have to have a book. You don't have to have a program. You don't have to have something to sell. But I'm speaking to you. If you're a dad and you just want to come on and share your story, come on and brag about your kids. Come on and brag about your amazing spouse, your partner. If you're a dad, reach out. Let's get you on the podcast. You don't have to be a, quote, professional to be on a podcast. Let's share your story. Every single listener to this podcast has a story, whether it's in a book form or just spoken. You have a story. You've learned things. You're getting better. You're trying. For the sake of your spouse, your partner, your kids, for the sake of yourself. You owe the world to be the best example of who a man is, who a father is, a parent is, a spouse is, a leader. And that's what DadSpace is all about. And I'm really excited to have you part of this. So when you're listening to a podcast, there's this little button, a little bell you can hit where you get notified when new episodes come out. Go ahead and hit that today. Hit the follow button. And when new episodes come out, they'll automatically go into a folder on your listening app, and you'll find us there. Would love to be a part of your regular weekly podcast schedule. We're looking at releasing these podcasts on a weekly basis. They'll be coming out every Monday morning around 5 a.m. So if you're heading to the gym, you're heading to the office, you're heading out to do yard work, you're going in the garage to build something, you're having your quiet time, your cup of coffee, wherever you find us during the week, we hope you enjoy DadSpace. Again, my name is Dave. Would love to talk to you at any point. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for taking a chance on a new podcast. I know it can be interesting, but I will show up for you, and I hope that you show up for this episode. And more importantly, you show up for your family on a regular basis. Take what you've learned here from our great guests from these episodes and apply it to your family, and let's see the results. Dads, fathers, grandfathers, stepdads, you got this. DadSpace is here for you. Looking forward to the next episode. Here we go. This is the trailer. Episode number 1 is coming. We're going to come flying out of the gates. enjoy DadSpace. And guys, thank you so much for listening. Talk to you soon. Thanks for listening to DadSpace today. Go check us out on all of our social media, YouTube, all that great stuff. You can find us as DadSpace Podcast. Real simple. DadSpace Podcast, whether you're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, even YouTube. Email us, dadspacepodcast@gmail.com. We're always looking for great guests to come on the podcast. If you have any feedback for us, what do we do good? What do we need to work on? Let us know here at DadSpace. Looking forward to connecting with you on the next episode. It's coming up right now. Just let this keep playing and it'll automatically come. Follow us on your podcast app for more, so you know when the latest episode of Dadcast comes out. Thank you so much for listening. Talk soon. Cheers. To you, Dad. Thank you.